y'all, it's Brandi. So this is part 2 of me at the Skyview drive-in over the weekend. In this movie review, I'm going to talk about the 2020 horror thriller movie called The Invisible Man. This is a 2020 movie, so it is a more recent horror movie that was in the movie theaters that is at the drive-in over the weekend. Alright, so this movie is definitely not family friendly. It is rated R. Typically most horror movies are not family friendly, but it is rated R. Alright, summary. So in this movie, there is the abusive husband that, the rich guy where he's rich, has money, kind of like if you've seen the movie like Enough or Sleeping with the Enemy. Great movies, by the way, with Jennifer Lopez and Julia Roberts. Jennifer Lopez is in the movie Enough, and then Julia Roberts is Sleeping with the Enemy. So kind of like that in a sense of rich husband, abusive. So the wife wants to get away and run away. Well, she gets away and runs away, and her husband comes up that he killed himself. So she doesn't believe that I don't want to give too much away, but she doesn't believe that he really is dead. She just doesn't believe it. She's like, he was abusive. I don't think he killed himself. That's pretty much the summary of the movie. All right, the actors and actresses. Elizabeth Moss was in Mad Men, West Wing, those TV shows, Us, and Girl Interrupted. And she is the main actress. Olivia Jackson Cohen, he was in The Healer, Faster, The Raven, and also in a couple Dracula shows. Again, if I mispronounce these names, I do apologize. I don't know about y'all, but with names, when it comes to names, I don't know, I'm just terrible at pronouncing names. I see a name and I'm I don't know, so I do apologize. Aldous Hodge was in What Men Want and Hidden Figures and Big Mama's House. Great movies. Let's see, Storm Reid was in Don't Let Go. Harriet Dyer was in The Other Guy. Let's see, Michael Dorman was in Daybreakers and the TV shows Patriot and Wonderland. Okay, so the plot and the writing so for this movie, it is a horror thriller movie. So when I think of a horror movie, because horror movies, as I mentioned previous, is one of my favorite genres. So for me, a good horror movie, it's tricky to get a good horror movie, but I love horror movies. So I know all about horror movies and what to look for. The director, Lee Winnell, he directed Saw, the 2004 Saw, the Dead Silence, and then all 3 Insidiouses, and then the movie Upgrade. So he knows horror movies. He's directed several of them. This is not definitely his first horror movie. For me, the only thing that's missing in this horror movie is the predictability. If you watch really closely, and you do have to watch closely, I will add, if you watch closely, you can kind of predict what's going on. In typical horror movies, sometimes, you're guessing is this guy really dead? Is she crazy? Or is he really invisible, and somehow came back and he's really alive and he's invisible? But for me, there was no predictability. Not really too much suspense, a little bit. There were a couple times when I was a little bit on edge, but for the most part, I wasn't too on edge. So it wasn't a super scary movie like Insidious and the other movies that he directed. And again, it was predictable. However, I will say, it was a really good movie. It was entertaining, and I definitely would recommend that you watch it. But just a little bit of a warning, it is a little bit predictable if you pay attention to the clues. If you don't, then it might not be predictable, because then you'll miss it. Like the person I was with, they didn't pay attention at all with the clues, and they're like, I don't know, is she crazy? Is he dead? Is he alive? And this person that I was with totally missed it and was like, yeah, I was suspense. But I think it was because it was the second movie and it was 1:30 in the morning and they were almost asleep. But that's just the warning that if you pay attention, it is a little bit predictable. So I would rate it an 8.7 out of 10 just because of predictability and the suspense, because I was paying attention. But again, really great movie, great director. I definitely would recommend it. I've actually seen this 2 times. I saw it at the movie theater, in the actual movie theater at AMC, and then at the drive-in. So, I mean, it was a good enough movie that I saw it 2 times. So I definitely would recommend that you watch it, and you comment below. Maybe it's not as predictable for you. I would love to hear your thoughts and your comments. I would also love for you to comment below with any movies that you would like for me to watch and review. If there's a particular genre that you would like me to do more of, I would love to hear your thoughts and your comments. Until then, guys, keep watching those movies. See ya.